Okay, hello everybody. I think this is working. I guess we'll know once I actually do it. But, so, oh my gosh, life. This is kind of a life update. I'm gonna be honest, it's probably gonna be a lot of me rambling about a bunch of different topics. TBH. So, basically, man, okay. So, about spring breakish. A little bit after spring break, I got sick and I missed a hormone injection. And that kind of started having a snowball effect. And so, yeah, that was not pleasant. So, that kind of kept going, and and every time, once I realized, oh crap, I need hormones, that's probably my problem. Planned Parenthood was kind of a pain. I live in Norman, which is like, what, 25 miles, maybe 30 miles north of where I'm at. That one was closed, so I had to go up another, same exact distance. Obviously, there is issues with that. And me being blind, I don't really drive, so it's not like I can just, hop in a car, go, go, go. And so I have to take buses. And that ends up being an all-day endeavor. So, depending on the time of the day my appointment is at, which usually requires me to take the earliest bus out. Well, guess what? They call me like about, I don't know, I think it was like 2 times, maybe 3 times saying, oh, no one's here today, we're gonna have to cancel your appointment. And so then I have to wait until the afternoon for another bus. So I'm missing more days of class. And I'm just going psycho nutso. Do not fall off of your hormones, people. And so I went crazy. I went crazy for that last half of the semester. Like, I was just. And to add on top of it, I was also thinking about some career changing kind of stuff and major changing and really just trying to figure out what the hell I wanted to do with my life, because beforehand it was like, okay, I'm just splashing around with majors in college because I like academics, so I'm gonna just keep splashing around over here, just diddly daddly, boop boop boop. And I still do love academics, but I gotta be real. I'm not gonna be able to pull out money out of my ass for forever, so I'm gonna have to. And honestly, like, I'm only getting money from like other resources, so it's not even like I'm pulling out my own ass. I'm pulling it out of someone else's. That's how that is. So yeah, that was bad. And then I had to go home over the summer, really, because I was like, I'm not gonna waste more money staying here and pay more money that I don't have. So that was a very that was kind of a nightmare. That was me trying to make things work when it just wasn't going to. And yeah, so so yeah, and being home, it was like, it was a reminder of everything wrong in my life ever. Honestly, all in general, Oklahoma is kind of that, but especially like Tulsa is like a major center point for that. And so I have personal reasons to not like Tulsa. I mean, personally, the infrastructure itself is just crap. Oh, I wonder. Let's see if I. Oh, ah. wonder how this will end up looking. I don't feel like having that, honestly, though. No, turn off. There we go. Yeah, I'm a ghost. um, brightness makes my eyes weird. And I'm still kind of early, so I got crap all over the place. um, but yeah, so, you know, and honestly, you know, now, while I'm a person of, okay, you have every right to misgender me if you really feel that way, it's still annoying. It is still freaking annoying. You can't really deny that, okay? And so my choices were, be in a crowded apartment with 3 other people in a 1 bedroom, or stay with my dad, have my own room, and kind of a lot more privacy, like a lot more because, you know, he works and all that stuff, and get to see siblings and stuff like that. And deal with, being, you know, deal with being misgendered, which honestly, I at this point, it kind of sees me as almost the opposite of what I am. Almost, because he kind of sees me like as a femme neutral, whereas I'm a masculine, genderless thing, whatever. um, so yeah, I'm gonna try out this light because I bet for the sake of video quality, that might be better, but I'm gonna have to. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so for the sake of video, let's see. Okay. I have to be careful about my lighting because I'm like, don't have iris, so anyone who's actually watching this, let me know if I actually remember to look at the comments. That's another thing. I've been on YouTube, but I've been not making videos or looking at my comments. Or hell, I haven't even been looking at replies to comments I make on other videos, so but yeah, so I'm also trying to figure out some shit, and right now I think, but yeah, so I mean, as far as the summer went, it was just kind of, it was miserable, honestly. It was one of those situations where it's like, I'm gonna be miserable regardless of what happens. Like, you know, the only way I wouldn't be straight up miserable is if I had a place to myself. And that's pretty sad because I can be happy and live with another person, you know. So yeah, that was kind of it, as far as all that goes. Seriously, guys, I can't see the quality as well, so please let me know if the lighting's better, if the dark room is good. I'm going to keep the light on the rest of the video, because I think it might be better, but I don't know. Or if it, you know, doesn't matter. So yeah, that was the summer, and I was just, dude, I was too depressed. I was anxious and depressed for a good solid 6 months, basically, because of hormones and then going back home. So, like, I mean, you know, I was barely showering, much less making videos, so I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna check on my stuff and make sure everything's still running well, because it's been a while since I've used this, and I've screwed around with my computer a bit, which, you know, now I'm back into school and all that stuff. I gotta be honest, like, I like the classes I'm in, but I'm taking a class that it's German, and that's been a pain because it's like I've never been the best at. I'm not the best at everyday assignments, just because I do have bad mental health days. I really do. Like, I'm like a conservative SJW. Because, like, I swear, like, no, seriously, everybody in the LGBT community has some fucked up mental health issue. And, like, has these, so it's relatable in the community. But everyone hates me because I'm, like, conservative and don't agree with everything. So, it's kind of stupid. But, yeah. Um, oh my god. That was another problem last semester was drama with LGBT. Like, it was so bad that they hurt themselves in the process. That's how bad it was. I'm not going to go into details because I just rather not. But and I wasn't really a big center part of that because I just kind of noped right out of there. I don't like drama. I get bitchy and complain about shit, but I just. So, I mean, I create my own drama enough as it is. I don't need anyone else. So, I mean, this has been crazy. It's been crazy. But this semester, kind of starting up, a lot of changes has happened because change in presidents of the school. So before it was David Boren, and now it's I don't even know. I honestly don't know. I don't. I'm not a big current event person, honestly. Um, yeah. Um, but there's a lot of changes going on. More noticeably with the restaurants, but that's because I'm fat, so of course I would notice that. But I mean, I have noticed other changes around campus, and I'm not gonna say that they're good changes. I'm not gonna say they're bad changes. I think they're kind of. I think, and this is my gut talking, is something feels off. Something doesn't really feel right. It doesn't feel wrong. It doesn't feel bad. It kind of just, it's like if you have a target, but you didn't hit it doesn't feel like, you hit you didn't hit the actual, like, target, but you kind of, like, hit, like, one of the parts around the target, and you're just like, how the hell did I hit that? um, or, like, maybe you hit the ground next to the target. um, so I mean, and it doesn't really feel bad. It just kind of feels off, and I don't know. My gut doesn't really tell me long term how it's gonna be, but I think short term, and as long as I'm here, like the amount of years I'll be here, could be negative. Could be. Won't be like terrible, terrible or anything, but it could possibly be negative, and that could be just for me personally. So I'm kind of dealing with, ooh, my gut's telling me something. So yeah. Now, like I said, I don't think it's anything bad. I just think it might have more negative effects on me personally, but it's not targeted at me or whatever. And it could just be the changes, honestly. I'm not about to be like, oh, everything's going crazy and I can just totally tell it. But it could just be the changes. It could really just be the changes kind of giving me this idea in my head. So, you know, but it is kind of a weird feeling, like, because I don't hate the changes. I'm kind of neutral. I'm a little pissy at like some the restaurants on campus, but I'm not really that pissed. I'm not even. I don't really care about the other changes really. Like they just kind of exist. So yeah, um, and last first couple weeks of classes have been trying to keep up, trying to put myself on a schedule, trying to pull my shit together. I've also joined rowing because I really need to be healthier and exercise more, and that was kind of my ticket into that, trying to be healthier. So, and I'm really enjoying it, honestly. Like, it's one of the few sports I can actually do without my sight, and actually, not be an extreme hindrance to the team or whatever. So, yeah, I'm trying to do that. And of course, with classes, one of the things, if anyone's watching this who, is LGBT and, disabled, I guess, and for some reason decides to come to the University of Oklahoma, well, um, I will say the DRC, Disability Resource Center on campus, is really great. LGBTY is, you know, they're very respectful in that regard, and, some of them are allies. Um, but if you want to do languages or you're required to do languages as a part of your major, which is a requirement for almost all arts and science majors, accessibility is shit. Like, you would think that, oh, okay, well, it's a requirement for students. Let's make sure we have this all in order, even if it is a little bit difficult. We should probably have something a little better prepared, since, typically it's a requirement for most majors to have a language. And not everybody is going to take Spanish. And it's not like it's an oddball, it's not like it's Russian, Japanese, or some Slavic or Hebrew or some weird not usually learned language, not usually first taken language. No, no. Has to be. I'm in German, okay, and that I had the same issue with French too, where it was like, no. So accessibility is shit when it comes to languages, and I honestly, and I don't think that's just here, but that might be all universities. I don't know, because I've obviously only been to one. So, yeah, and so I just realized something. You can see my Dragon Ball Z poster in the background. But yeah, I warned you guys. I warned you this was going to be a very me just updating life and talking in general. Okay, this is your fault for staying around this long. So yeah. And, also more related to specifically this channel is I'm trying to think, what do I want to focus on with this channel? Because, I started thinking of, I really should be focusing on something. And I think one of these days I would like to do a blind guy travelers kind of guide thing, because I do love to travel, and I just love being in different places. I love getting around and doing things, and I'm very active in those regards. Like, the only reason I'm fat is because I eat too much, and don't really exercise all the right parts of my body. That is also an issue. But yeah, so yeah. But I'm kind of thinking I would like to do that, but I think if I did do that, that would be like I have time and money to go get like a GoPro or something like that and actually figure out how to do shit. Um, so that will not be an immediate thing, but that's something I am looking into doing in the distant future. Um, I might, in the meantime, I might still do some blind awareness stuff on here. I might still talk about some blind things just because that is a big part of my life. Um, and I personally feel like, specifically, specifically physical disabilities and especially blind gets so drowned out by all the other minorities, especially in the LGBT community. And I've met, I actually currently know of three other blind, uh, you know people who are either gay or trans or queer or whatever. So it's not like it's you know uh, so yeah. And that's and and if there's talk of maybe trying to get an LGBT NFB division going on. NFB is National Federation for the Blind, by the way. You know, so trying to get that going on, and I've heard that there is talk of that. So if I do end up joining that, or that actually becomes a thing, I will definitely also be updating with that too. Because, like I said, it is a big part of my life, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of blind awareness in the LGBT community. And I really do feel like it gets drowned out so much. So, yeah. I mean, so those are some of my personal feelings on that. But also, I think I want to focus on making this an educational, but towards a different group. I don't want it to be like, oh, you're that standard liberal, you know, uh, 101 genders. I don't even know. I, I, or like just like every gender is valid thing, because I'm sorry, no, not every gender is valid. And I want to make this for the relatively non-traditional people, the people who are maybe conservative, educate people who, if they hear it from, oh my god, I love that song. I have my song on, and oh bye. Do I have the song like, oh my god, I don't. Seeing the man in the mirror I see. Not as I wanna be, but I'm better than I used to be. Yes, I listen to country. I also listen to musicals and alternative rock. I am, oh, and contemporary Christian. Oh my god, I love that song so much. I don't know it word by word, but I still love it. It's just such a... What is the name of this darn song? This is unscripted, you guys, so I'm sorry, but this happens. Okay. Better than I used to be. Ooh, Tim McGraw. No wonder I like it. So... God. It's beautiful. But I just love it because it's kind of like... I love the meaning in the song. I really do love the meaning in the song. Gonna get, because like the chorus of it's like, I'm not as good as I'm gonna get, but I'm better than I used to be. And oh, such a good message. Like seriously, and I mean honestly, that's my life. No angel, I still got a few more witnesses with the devil. Like I said, I don't know all the songs, so you guys are gonna get the crappy lyrics. Oh, I'm getting there. Allergies suck, by the way, you guys. I give up. Fine. I give up. I give up. Anyways, no. But oh my gosh, you guys. Also, this is yeah. This is me. um, I want to be. It's really interesting. Because it. Because I actually really like this one because it's like, man, that is such the damn truth. Like, we are always like getting better each and every day. We're not where we want to be, but damn it, we. But when you look back on your life, you're like, damn, that sucked. That was shit. I fucked up. But yeah, so. Anyways. Oh my god. I should be taking my medication for allergies, but I forget to do that, so. Oh well. But yeah, so. Back to what I was saying. Oh my god. Pandora is just amazing today. Oh my god. I love this song. Okay, I do have this one, like, it's called If You're Going Through Hell by Rodney Atkins. Yeah, that's right. And if you kick me, seems like everybody has. I honestly, like, okay, I'm not gonna sing anymore, but you guys, seriously, like, if I say I like a song, totally listen to it, or don't, I don't care. But usually if I get distracted by something, usually it's like, oh my gosh, I love this. But anyways, I don't know, you guys might actually be able to hear in the background. I don't know. Through hell, keep on moving, don't slow down. If you're scared, don't show it, you might get out. For the devil even knows you're there. Down in that darkness, I've been down to my last match. So, hold on. God. Okay, I'm gonna stop you guys. I'm sorry. Back to what I was talking about, though. Focus. 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 I'll be honest, you guys, this is also me with my homework sometimes. I warned you. I warned you all. Anyways, so. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, the target of this is going to be like. Basically. If all you hear is the. I'm gonna turn that down because I'm getting a little more distracted by it. That's low enough. I'm sorry, I like that song so much. But yeah, so I mean, because honestly, when I first when I first heard about you know, non-binary identities, that was a very I heard it from so many cringy sources, and honestly, like, I still hear it from so many cringy sources that I'm just like, okay, because you're so damn stupid. That's the most childish way I could have put that, but I mean, like, I don't even know. God, I'm hungry. No, shut up, stomach. um, but I'm just. Oh, move around, you dum dum. Um, okay, yeah. So, I mean, I am so. When I hear that cringe, the stupidity that comes out of these people's mouths, it makes me doubt my own gender identity because they're just so freaking stupid when they talk. Okay? God. You guys, Oklahoma is a terrible place for allergies, by the way. Like, seriously, everyone I know who's come from out of state, they've never had, like, allergy issues before, like pollen and stuff like that, and then they come here and it's like, oh god, this is terrible. And, like, almost anybody here knows how much of a pain in the ass allergies are, so don't move to Oklahoma. It just sucks. Also, Oklahoma Sooner Care, Medicaid, whatever, does not cover trans things, so yeah, don't do it. It's a trap. But yeah, so you hear the cringe, you hear the, if all you hear is just people who are honestly just ignorant and really don't know what they're talking about, and just because I swear, I've heard people, like, even when they hear something stupid but it's on their side, they still try to give it some leniency, and then it's like, okay, so you guys are just okay with being ignorant dumbasses. Okay, fine, whatever. And honestly, I think, and honestly, if I would have initially heard about being trans from a very strong liberal side of view, or a very like SJW-ish, because okay, here's the thing: the first person I met who was trans, um, you know, I asked him, "Are you okay, let me just set the scenario. So I'm the type of person, because some people just look really androgynous to me, and sometimes their voices are also androgynous. So sometimes I don't know if they're a dude or a girl, and I don't want to be rude. So usually I wait around, try to listen for a pronoun to be used, but because he was trans, I guess everyone just kind of avoided that, like, which is totally respectable. I highly respect that, because if you don't agree with it, you should not be forced to. But it is respectful to at least just, not misgender them, basically. So, if you're just avoidant of gendering in general, that is the most respectful thing you can do to a trans person. Well, it's not the most respectful. Most respectful would be like, but reasonably respectful is definitely just avoiding gendering. Like, that's a good way to be, honestly. So yeah, I wait around for, to hear, pronoun, or, hear something indicating male or female. And so, at a certain point I was just like, okay, I want to say hi to this person, but I don't really know what gender they are, so, hey, that's a good I'm sorry, but are you a boy or a girl? don't even remember how exactly I said it, but I know it was pretty blunt and just I know for sure it was just, are you a boy or a girl? Because at the time, I didn't know shit. And, he kind of just responded with that, just like, I'm actually trans. And uh, friendship and kind of, you know, developed from that and all that stuff. But if he would have been like some people who are just who I swear I've met people here who are like that, who are just disgusted by someone asking, "Are you a boy or a girl?" And if he would have reacted negatively, I would not know I'm trans because I would have just been so like, okay, apparently all trans people are shitty people. Or apparently trans people have some mental issue that makes them act like this, and so it's not morally right, so it's wrong. So yeah, I mean, I want to be the safer introduction for those who just don't get it, who just don't understand it, who really don't like. Or maybe you do understand. You've heard all the cringe, but you've never heard it from someone who's going to be realistic about the things and will also put in some skepticism about it. Someone who you can maybe relate a little more to. Someone who's more conservative. I consider myself more into the libertarianish range, but I'm pretty much right of center for the most part. So I'm not like ultra Republican or anything like that. But compared to the LGBT community, I am just straight up conservative and straight out of the conservative closet. um, oh my gosh. That is some flim. Ew. But yes, I mean, I'm very much like, hey, if if you just don't really agree with it in general, if you don't think non-binary identities are real things or whatever, that's fine. I don't blame you. I really don't. Especially if you're being educated by fucking SJWs. Oh my god. And I don't want to be like an anti-SJW or anything, but they have caused me harm. They have they do to me what the church does to the gays, basically. And I want to be welcoming to anybody who is a lot more liberal. I don't want to be like, oh no, if you are liberal, you're not allowed here. I don't want to close off anybody because I think everyone has the opportunity to learn and become a better person and make their own decisions. If you believe in non-binary identities because someone else told you to, no. Believe it for yourself. I would rather you believe that there are only two genders and think that for yourself than to believe in, 99 bottles of genders on a wall. I don't even know. Believe that because, someone told you to. Honestly, I would rather you misgender me on your own terms because you believe it than gender me correctly because, that's just what everyone tells you to. So I don't want it. Oh my god, I love that song too. I don't. At this point, my music's so low, you probably can't hear it. But I think it's "I Hope You Dance" or something like that. Yeah, "I Hope You Dance." What is the Lee Ann Womack? Oh my gosh. Okay. Honestly, though, if you look up "I Hope You Dance," you'll most likely find the song. Just saying. Great. It's a great song. It's very beautiful. Um, like honestly, I could just make a whole video of just like, here are all the songs you should listen to because they have important meaning and life lessons in them. Um, yeah. So, uh, and yeah, and like, I don't want people to think things because they're told to. That's You're just kind of living a crappy life, honestly, with that. Because if you can't think for yourself, you're not going to know yourself. You're going to miss out on so many things. So, I mean, unless you are thinking for yourself also, do not transition. Think for yourself before you transition. That is a huge thing to note. Because if you're doing it for others, or you're doing it because everyone just encourages that, or pressures you into it, or whatever, don't do it. And you know what? Honestly, if you want it, and I'll make a video on this later on. If you want to detransition, go ahead and do it. Because if that's not who you are, you should never be forced to live like that. You really shouldn't, because look, I don't want to be forced to live my life as a woman. I really don't. And, you know, if you transition and you realize I don't want to live my life as a man or a woman or whatever, you shouldn't have to. And, and I would encourage you to maybe look at non-binary identities, because maybe you do identify in that range, and maybe you just ignored it because too many cringy people told you something that you're like, okay, you guys all sound like a bunch of retards crawling out of the closet. And they'll get pissy at me for using the word retard because honestly, like, I have a cousin who is actually like mentally disabled. I have, and usually when I actually talk about her, I actually do say retarded. Um, and I know a bunch of autistic people, and like, for the most part, they don't really care. For the most part, you know, you know, and I've been compared to being a retard because of my physical disability. So, yes, I am horribly inappropriate sometimes. But I could be worse. But yeah, but yeah, I'll make a video on my thoughts on detransitioning later. I'm still gonna transition, by the way, you guys, like, because it feels right to me. And that's just me. Anyways, there's just... My phone is silent. Why are you silent? What are you doing, phone? Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's... Oh my god, that's another good song. I'm sorry, you guys. Let's see. Okay. Independence Day by Martina McBride. It's actually a really good damn song. Although, if you have trauma with abuse and get very triggered by abuse, might not be as good of a song for you. I'm just gonna be honest. So, yeah. I should turn that down so I can focus. I need low music in order to focus, you guys. So I'm kind of like, oh. But sometimes I still get distracted because I'm like, oh my god. Anyways. I am so sorry you guys have to deal with this. This was a bad decision, but I'm happy for it. So, y'all just get to see a little extra flavor of me. Oh my god, it's such a good song. I love songs with like meanings in them so much. And especially if they sound really good. And most of these songs are usually country that have like really amazing, meanings in them, by the way. But yeah, so I want to focus on not as much bashing. I probably will still complain about because, like I said, I've been hurt by the group, and I don't want to be like all liberals and all these people are just bad people, and I don't even think they all have malintent. I just think that, they really don't know what they're doing. Like, and, you can be liberal and not be like that. I'm just going to be real with you. Like, so I'm not even, I'm using liberal and as a very, as more specific than what it actual meaning of it is. So, I guess you could say I'm using liberal very liberally. I don't know. Or conservatively. I don't even know. I think I screwed up. Oh well. I think I'm wrong on the connotation of that, but you guys don't have to care. Uh, who's actually watching this, anyways? Like, honestly, who's that dumb? No, JK, you guys, y'all are smart, if maybe. um, but yeah, I mean, it really should be a lot more, like, willing to teach people who. See, I went from country to Fall Out Boy, like, not like next song is Fall Out Boys. Just saying. Or next artist, whatever. Anyways, I love music, you guys. It's just a part of my life. I kind of have in the background as more of focusing tool for me, by the way. But yeah, so yeah. I think I've been so repetitive, and I tend to be repetitive because I'm not sure if I'm actually getting my point across or not. So, just saying. But yeah, so I mean, I don't want to educate people who already know all this shit. I want to like, okay, I'm going to use a Bible verse as an example. It is the sick that need a doctor, not the healthy. Jesus specifically said that. And I'm a very, very strong believer in that. That, if you're, I mean, honestly, obviously, those who don't know, those who don't, don't understand or who have been turned off of it because all anybody has done is be negative or just put them down constantly over it. Yeah, that's not okay, and you deserve to hear a point of view that's not mega liberal. Y'all deserve to hear it from someone who's not like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can have my cringy moments. I really can. And, like, gosh, if you guys, okay, for instance, I'm really cringy about my gender. Honestly, I'll be real. Like, I'm a bit cringy about it. Um, I identify, and yes, my gender identity has slightly changed around a little bit, but I'll go in more detail in another video about this. But I identify as kind of like agender flux, so I kind of stay in that agender realm, and I fluctuate a lot with male and female. But like I fluctuate in such a way that I actually go into both. So I kind of fluctuate into I go from none to both, basically. You know, and but of course when at most I might feel really male or really both genders or something like that, if I'm feeling both. And I do have days when the male part sticks out a lot more. Like sometimes it's just a lot stronger. Oh, hopefully that wasn't heard. It probably was though. Um, but and it's kind of like it's like 2/3 of me is like genderless for the most part, and then 1/3 is like both genders, but 2/3 of that is like male and female. But I'd have to say more like demi boy and demi girl, so I'd kind of say demi bigender kind of, and whatever left is more of like an androgynous male demi boy kind of thing. So I mean, that's just kind of how I identify. However, I'm also not going to be like, oh, you have to believe in my gender, like, because for me, I'm valid because I know myself, and I've done a lot of research and thinking about this a lot, and trying to logically think it through, and and I don't think that you can just feel a way, and all of a sudden that's your gender. No, there's got to be a very strong burden there, mentally, to feel wrong being male or female. And, and yeah, I don't really want any sex characteristics, but if I, with the human body, you kind of have to choose, to be honest. Obviously, I like my deep voice. I love it. I would like to have a little more muscles, but I think anybody would like that, honestly. I would like to have a flat chest. And I want I don't want balls, honestly, but I do want, like, a dick to, like, pee with, so, because that's kind of a oddly important thing for me, is I want to be able to stand to pee. And but I'm not all that fond of either having either gender genitalia. There we go. So, but I would be very satisfied with just kind of a dick just big enough to pee with, basically. But everything else, like for instance, one of my big worries about being on testosterone is it will I still keep an androgynous face, or will it actually will I start to look more masculine? Because I don't want an overly masculine face. Now, I will. It depends how I look once I lose some weight. I'll make decisions after that. But honestly, if it looks too feminine, I would not be. I would take into consideration having, like, facial surgeries, but at the same time, I'm also like, I don't think I would want to risk that either. So that's kind of an up in the air kind of thing. But I still want my face to stay at least somewhat feminine, or at least androgynous. I don't want it to be too masculine. If it's a little masculine, I'll be fine with that. That's fine. That's fine. Just as long as if I tried, I could look like a female. If I like super duper duper tried to look like a female, but like I don't want it to be like I want to look male enough that if I don't try to look either way, I kind of look like I either look androgynous or I look like a guy or like an androgynous guy. Think think like androgynous boy bands kind of look. So I'd be okay with looking kind of like that. But yeah, so but yeah, I am super cringy about things. Oh, and I like my hips. I actually really do like my hips. I like having that more hourglass figure kind of thing, or just looking or I'd honestly just be fine looking like neither in general. But I like I like having female hips. I like having a butt. Mm mm mm. Honestly, mine's too big, so damn. um. So yeah, I mean, and I am effeminate in so many ways, and I'm more male overall, but I'm still effeminate. I'm still and honestly, now if you think you can't be neither gender, I'd say look at me as kind of like a bigender, both genders really. Just kind of look at me like that, gender neutral, whatever comes to mind, because in a lot of ways that's kind of what I'd be happy with being too. I think, and as a skeptic of non-binary identities, I think I do kind of identify with both, but at the same time, I identify with both, but slightly more male-ish, and well, definitely more male-ish, obviously. And I want to, but also there might be some part of dissociation in a sense that just kind of some type of disconnect from gender identity in general that makes me feel like I'm neither. Oh shoot. I better wrap this up because I gotta go get my laundry. But yeah, so I mean, you know, I am. So yeah, I'm willing to be skeptical. And honestly, if you don't believe in that you can be both male and female, well, I mean, for one, I would not mind actually debating about that. I will debate you on that, man. Like, although I have shit for charisma, so you'll probably just win because I'm just so terrible at talking. Or more if I'm terrible at getting my points across. More of. uh, so yeah. But, because I really think, if you can totally transition in such a way that you have both attributes of male and female, and I mean, what are you going to call that person? If we're going strictly off of what sex characteristics you have, what are you going to call that person? What about intersex people who really just don't want to choose, who are happy being both male and female? Are you really going to make those people choose? Just saying. But, maybe you have a different opinion, and that's okay. You don't have to agree with me. No one has to agree with me. No one does agree with me anyways. But, if someone was to look at me and be like, okay, you have to either be male or female, I would have to say, okay, I am male, and I am, I'm just an effeminate guy. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. But yeah, so oh yeah, that's Yes, I am distracted by another song. I'm not gonna recommend it because it's. I mean, it's a good song. It's like I think it's called Fancy. It has a good tune to it, but I'll go ahead and tell y'all anyways because I already mentioned it. Okay. Oh yeah. Uh, Fancy by um, Reba McIntyre. That's right. I think I met like that person's like cousin, sister, something like that once, but they don't know because I'm kind of trans and I met them when I was female. Um, but yeah, so I yeah, I really want to make this targeted more towards an audience who really is turned off of the possibility of anything in the LGBT community, whether that be trans, gay, queer, whatever. I want to be there for those people who just are turned off of it because of typical spewing liberal bullshit, and really want to hear something a little more logical, more analytical of it, or just hear about from someone who has had similar experience to what they've had with the community. So yeah, I still might post a few rants. I'm trying to be more positive. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to be more positive, but I might still complain about some things. I might still talk about some controversial topics, but that's more to give something more relatable. Because I want to I want to be that I want to be someone's queer that they can relate to beyond just gender. Because honestly, gender is not everything. It is a very small aspect of your life. Yes, it does help you to find your identity. It is very helpful, and it helps to make things clearer. There's a lot I could go into about that, but I won't because I have to wrap this up because I have to go get my laundry. um, so yeah, I mean, I really want this channel to be more targeted towards the more unlikely people looking for, something besides. I'm just going to give examples. I'm not going to make any opinions about these people. Um, like, who really don't like hearing from, like, people like Cap Black, Riley Dennis, and just general people, maybe a little more chill than those people, but still are kind of about as, I'm sorry, cringy sometimes as those people. I'm not gonna. I have my own personal opinions, but I'm not gonna share those right away because I don't want to bash. I really don't want to bash individuals unless it's just an absolute necessity. Which it's not, but I just want to give those as examples. Like, if those are people that really turn you off of the LGBT community, off of non binary identities, off of trans people, off of whatever, I want you to be able to come to me and see that, hey, I'm some weird person who is, I'm a queer, but I'm not your average everyday liberal agenda pushing queer. I'm not. When you see me on a university campus, you might actually be surprised to learn that I'm conservative, that I'm religious, that I'm not strictly Christian, but I still believe in a lot of Christian values. by the way. Um, I'm a weird religion. I can go into that another time, in all honesty. But yeah, so that's a lot of the direction I want to send this channel into, is just people who, yeah, and maybe someone for blind LGBT people to see and relate to too. And maybe to just someone who's a little more chill and who isn't going to be like, you have to believe this or not. You have to believe this or you're a bigot. Because honestly, I am a believer that everyone has good intentions. Everyone is really trying their best to do what's right. Sometimes we just get lost along the way, and sometimes we get passionate, and sometimes those passions can take us off the right path. Not that passion isn't beautiful, but just that sometimes if you're not careful, passion can control you instead of you control your passion. So yeah, I mean, I'd have to say that, yeah, so if so hopefully that makes sense. I don't know if I actually got my point across as well. Or maybe it just maybe you relate to me on that level if you just kind of want someone who's not gonna tell you, oh, you're a bigot because you don't validate my gender identity, because you think that biological sex is really the only thing that there is, or you feel like you're lying about when you're talking to me and you don't want to lie. Like, because to me, you're not a bigot. You're not a bad person if you disagree, because I mean, honestly, there are valid points on both sides. And anybody can take some words and twist and turn them around to make it fit their own agenda. And because I don't believe in a possibility of someone actually being truly unbiased, I try to present both arguments. I try to give logic and reasoning. I try to be reasonable about things. Understand that, yeah, it's okay that, it's okay. You don't have to believe this. You don't have to think this is legit. Just because I do, and I've done my logical things on it. So, yeah, I mean, I hope maybe at least I'm someone who's a little more chill about the things, or maybe you're just kind of looking around trying to find stuff, but you just accidentally run across my channel or something, and you're like, oh, this person's actually kind of chill, and then not in your face about it. So yeah, it's kind of LGBT education for non-typical, people. Just kind of give someone, try to be a little more relatable, hopefully. Of course, I'm unique in my own way, and I'm kind of, I have a life outside of gender, so I have many aspects of my life, and you're not gonna be able to relate to that because, you're not like me, and I would not want you to be like me, because, oh my god, I am not the best person ever. God, do not be like me. Do not be like me, because that's a pretty that's pretty much a shit show. Don't do it. It's a trap. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope this uploads properly, and hopefully this has been a good update on my life in general, and hopefully I made sense of where I'm wanting to take this channel. Thanks for watching. Bye! Also, I'm a goofy person, so you're gonna get a little bit of weird goofiness from me. Okay, now bye for real.